Hey guys, this is Mike Hanley from HanleyStrength.com. Today I'm going to go over 4 tips to help you increase your conventional deadlift. These tips I've learned over the years through traveling the West Side and talking to different power lifters and stuff like that, and they've helped me a great deal. So I figured I'd bring them to your attention. The first one is your stance, okay? For a conventional deadlift, there's 2 ways to go about finding the right stance for you. One, you can hang from a chin-up bar and just drop down, and wherever you land your feet, that's a good indicator of where you should conventional deadlift. The second one is, and I'll show you when I go over near the bar, is to squeeze your glutes and rock back and forth until your glutes are fully contracted, and then place your feet right where your glutes are fully contracted. This I find works really good for me, and I'll show you later on in the video. The second tip is where the bar should be before pulling. Okay, I like to keep the bar just behind my toes. Okay, a lot of times people put the bar too close to their shins, and then their hips shoot up when they pull instead of coming underneath them. Okay, so we want to keep the bar an inch or so away from our shins to start the lift. Okay, the third tip is to create tension in the bar. A lot of the deadlift bars have flex to them. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get rid of that flex before you leave the ground, and I'll show you what I mean in the video. And the last one, the fourth one, is pressing your heels into the ground. So you want to think of pushing yourself away from the ground, using your quads as well as your hamstrings to press yourself to start the lift, and then the posterior chain is going to finish the lift as well. So pushing your heels and pushing your feet hard into the ground and pressing yourself away from the ground is the last tip. Okay, I'm going to show you all these over near the bar, but hopefully you get something out of this, and try practicing them and putting them into play with your deadlift, and I think you'll like them. All right, guys. So the first tip that we were talking about was setting our stance. What I'm going to do for this set is I'm going to squeeze my glutes and rock back and forth on my heels until my glutes are completely locked in and tight. And I'm going to set my stance once my hips are as tight as they can be. Okay, that's usually a good position to start your feet at and keep your feet in for conventional deadlift. Okay, so once I get that, that allows me to get into my heels as best as I can. Okay, the next tip, tip 2, keep the bar over your toe line in the back of your toes. Okay, a lot of people bring the bar too close to their shins. Okay, and what happens when that happens is once they start to pull, their hips shoot up instead of coming in underneath the bar. Okay, and finishing the lift. Okay, so I'm going to set the bar just over my toes. I don't want it this close to my body, because you'll notice I'll be pitched forward. I won't be able to pull from there. My hips are going to go up, and they're not going to be able to come through and finish the lift. Okay? So bar goes over toes. I set. Okay, so keep the bar just an inch or so away from your shin, maybe right behind the toes. That's what I like to teach. Okay, so the third tip that we're going to talk about is creating tension in the bar before the weight leaves the ground. Okay? A lot of these deadlift bars have a flex to them. Okay, and we want to get rid of that flex before we start to really pull. Okay, so I'm going to show you how the bar is going to bend a little bit. I'm going to create that tension before I leave the ground. Okay, so everything should be tight before you leave the ground. Notice that bend in the bar. Okay, so get rid of that tension before you start your pull. Okay, and the fourth and last tip that I want to give you guys is pressing through the ground. Okay, it's almost like a leg press to start the deadlift. Okay, you don't want to use your back from the start of the lift. You want to think of, once your feet are set, you're going to drive, you're going to create tension in the bar, and you're going to drive your heels into the ground like you're pressing yourself away from the ground. Once the bar starts to come up, that's when your hips are really going to start to come into play and finish the rep. Okay, so I want you to think about pressing your heels into the ground and pushing yourself away from the ground to start the lift. Okay?